Dear students, today we are going to start second part of the chapter Ashoka, the emperor who gave up war. You know that in the previous video we discussed about the Mauryan Empire. Ashoka was the ruler of Mauryan Empire, means Mauryan dynasty. Most of the knowledge about or informations about Mauryan dynasty is found in Arthashastra. Arthashastra was the book written by Kautilya, and Kautilya was also known as Chanakya. He was the prime minister of Chandragupta Maurya. And we also discussed that Chandragupta Maurya established the Mauryan dynasty or the Mauryan empire. He ruled the Mauryan empire, the most of the parts of India, from 321 BC to 297 BC. So let's start today's topic, Ashoka, a unique ruler. The most famous Mauryan ruler was Ashoka. He ruled the Mauryan dynasty from 272 to 232 BC. He was the first ruler who tried to take his message to the people through inscriptions. Most of Ashoka's inscriptions were in Prakrit and were written in the Brahmi script. These languages were the languages of ordinary people. Do you know why Ashoka is called a unique ruler? Because Ashoka gave up the wars after winning the wars. Ashoka's war in Kalinga, with this topic we can understand. Kalinga is the ancient name of coastal Odisha. You can see in this map. Ashoka fought a war to conquer Kalinga because at that time the rulers used to attack on others' empires and kingdoms to get more resources, to win the area, to get territory and people. However, he was so horrified when he saw the violence and bloodshed that he decided not to fight any more wars. Due to his kindness, he left the wars. He is the only king in the history of the world who gave up conquest after winning a war. So, Ashoka is called unique ruler. Ashoka's inscription describing the Kalinga war. This inscription, this is what Ashoka declared in one of his inscriptions. 8 years after becoming king, I conquered Kalinga. About 1.5 lakh people were captured and more than 1 lakh of people were killed. You know that in the war the people are killed, somebody wins, somebody lost. This filled me with sorrow. Why? Whenever an independent land is conquered, lakhs of people die and many are taken prisoner. Brahmins and monks also die. They don't fight war but they die. People who are kind of their relatives and friends to their slaves and servants die or lose their loved ones. That is why I am sad and have decided to observe Dhamma and to teach others about it as well. I believe that winning people over through Dhamma is much better than conquering them through force. I am inscribing this message for future so that my son and grandson after me should not think about war. Instead, they should try to think about how to spread Dhamma. So, in this inscription, we can understand the thinking of Ashoka after giving up the wars, after winning the Kalinga war. Why did he leave the war? Why did he give up wars? And what he thought after the war? All the things we can understand. And what message he wanted to give in this inscription we can understand. Dhamma is the Prakrit word for the Sanskrit term Dharma. Dharma means religion. You can know, understand. Dharma is the religion and Dhamma is the Prakrit word for this term. So the next topic is, what was Ashoka's Dhamma? Ashoka's Dhamma. If we try to understand Ashoka's Dhamma, it was a code of conduct and a set of principles to be adopted and practiced by the people to build up an attitude of social responsibility and to preserve the social order. It ordained to pay respect to elders, mercy to slaves, and emphasize truth, non-violence, and tolerance. So let's study. Ashoka's Dhamma did not involve worship of a god. This Dhamma or religion or Dharma is not belonging to any god or performance of a sacrifice. He felt that just as a father tries to teach his children, he had a duty to instruct his subjects, means here the people. Subjects means people. He was also inspired by the teaching of Mahatma Buddha. Right? In the previous chapters we studied about Mahatma Buddha. There were a number of problems that troubled him. People in the empire followed different religions and this sometimes led to the conflicts. Animals were sacrificed, slaves and servants were ill-treated. Besides, there were quarrels in families and among neighbors. Ashoka felt it was his duty to solve these problems. It means there were so many problems found in his empire among the people, and he wanted to solve all these kinds of problems. So he appointed officials known as Dhamma Mahamatta. You have to remember this word, Dhamma Mahamatta, who went from place to place teaching people about Dhamma. Besides, Ashoka get his message inscribed on rocks and pillars, right, are known as inscriptions. Today we find so many inscriptions, instructing his officials to read his message to those who could not read it themselves. Ashoka also sent messengers to spread ideas about Dhamma to other lands such as Syria, Egypt, Greece, and Sri Lanka. He built roads, dug wells, and built rest houses. Besides, he arranged for medical treatment for both human beings and animals. So these were the works those made Ashoka as a unique ruler, because he did so many things for the welfare of people as well as animals. So dear students, in this way we have completed this topic. One more thing is left, the Rampurva bull. Look at this finely polished stone sculpture. This was part of Mauryan pillar found in Rampurva, Bihar, and is now placed in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rashtrapati Bhavan. It is an example of a skill of the sculptors of that time. You can see this image. This is the picture. So in the next video we'll discuss about the rest of the part of this chapter. Thank you.